Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 28th. This week, you have this Sacred Union card and this Divine Awakening card. You could be reuniting with your higher self here, Leo, number one, with this Sacred Union card and this Divine Awakening card. Seems to be like there's like a little bit of a spiritual edge to the week. A lot of people have had messages of basically spiritual awakenings and things like that going on. So, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me if that was happening for you, Leo. And, it's probably a good thing. It's like you're realigning with yourself, which could be a good thing. Also, absolutely could be love, although we don't really see love yet in this reading, so we'll have to see what comes up. But I think whatever you're awakening to would be, something that you want to move towards. And again, that's the other thing as well. I can't believe I forgot that. A lot of people have been getting these messages of like some sort of awakening going on at this time. It could be a collective awakening that everyone is having, really. And I don't know, the energies have been pretty intense lately. I don't know if anyone else feels it, but I think that there could be a lot of that energy going on, this year specifically. So definitely makes perfect sense. In your first row for your current general energies, you have the High Priestess, the Three of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. High Priestess, definitely trusting your intuition. Pretty sure I said this in your last reading as well. I remember reminding you how intuitive you are in your last reading, Leo, and I just think this is probably another reminder that you are very intuitive and you have a lot more potential. I think you have been getting this card with me quite a bit, and the High Priestess, she represents unlimited potential. There's no roof over her head. And you go down to the Five of Pentacles to the Eight of Swords in this first row. I feel like this is saying you need to, I think the whole entire reading, Leo, is saying that you need to exceed your own expectations. It's like saying you are capable of much more than you realize, which I think is true for everyone. But I definitely feel, you're the person, you're the sign that has been getting this message lately. So, that's why I'm telling you about it, is because you're the one that needs to do this. And you're probably going to do it to help other people do it. It's like we're in a time of inspiration. We have Pluto and Aquarius, which is going to affect you more than most people because Aquarius is your opposite sign. So, I believe that, I believe for everyone that one of the best things we can do spiritually is be a living example with Pluto and Aquarius, but it's like you're going to do that more, right? And so I feel that for a lot of you, it's like about exceeding your expectations, your own expectations, living that, what do we call it? I can never remember the word, the superlative life, right? That's always the word I'm looking for that I can never remember for whatever reason. But it's like, I think we all need to live that, insert whatever superlative you want in front of it, life. And, I would really go for it, Leo. It's going to require you to go places you've never been before, as always. You have this, Three of Wands. You can't make this stuff up. Three of Wands, Six of Swords, world. Like, literally, some of you might have to travel or move. Or, maybe that's part of what you want to do. Maybe you want to, be a speaker or something like that, and you're going to be traveling around. But, Three of Wands requires expansion. So we have to go places and do things and face fears and all that other stuff to get what we want with the Three of Wands. I definitely feel it could be time for you to take that leap of faith here, Leo. It's going to lead to a lot of success if you do it. So that's what I would do. I would be like bolder as well. Part of me wants to say I said this to Aquarius, but I could be wrong. It might have been Libra. I don't remember who I said it to this week, but, I said to them, like, what would you do if you were 1,000 times more bold? I think that would be a good question for you to answer as well, Leo, is like, if you were 1,000 times bolder, what would you do in your life? Where would you go? What would be the things that you would accomplish and all that other stuff? And it's not about actually doing it. It just, although hopefully you do, but it's about thinking about it. Just, kind of thinking and, allowing your mind to wander. And that's what I would do with this Three of Wands. You have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about following your heart. You are a Leo. I think it is time for Leo to follow their heart. You literally have this card right here that says, let it go. Some of you are maybe letting go of something that used to be connected to your heart, and now you're moving on to something new, like a new heart-based connection. I don't think this necessarily, for most of you, I don't think it's love. But I also, maybe for some of you it is, but for most of you, I think it's just like a heart connection. It's like sometimes we want to get something and then we get it and then we just have to let it go, right? So it's like, there have been things that I've like attracted in my life that like I wanted, right? And I got them. And then when I had the experience with the thing that I wanted, I let it go because I was like, oh, have experienced it. Now it's like that, that's what like life has taught me. It's like I've gotten a lot of the things, really, I should say, and be grateful for, that I've wanted in life. But it's like a lot of those things over time I've let go, because it's like I've realized that it's not like really that I wanted to have it. I just wanted to have the experience of it, right? And that's like what's popping into my head for you here, Leo. It's like maybe instead of saying like I want this one thing in life, whatever it is, maybe you just need to say to yourself, I want the experience of it. And if it stays in your life forever, whatever this goal is or whatever you're trying to accomplish, great. But if it doesn't, you're not limiting yourself. It's like sometimes I think people say like, oh, I want a Ferrari, for example, but it's like you get the Ferrari, it's great for a little while, then it becomes boring. It's like, what if what you really want is something else in the future you don't even know exists, right? That's why I think sometimes maybe it's better to say, I want the experience of this. I don't know, call me crazy, but there you go, Leo. That's what I would pay attention to. With the High Priestess, yeah, so are you kidding? You have the Ten of Pentacles. You can have it all, right? I feel like I say this to you every reading now. It's like you can have whatever you want, Leo, but you have to believe it. You have to set your mind to it, and you have to, work towards it, obviously. You're a fixed sign. I mean, all the fixed signs get the Ten of Pentacles because, I think with Uranus and Taurus, even though, Uranus is left Taurus, but it doesn't matter. I think that energy kind of triggered fixed signs into wanting to create more freedom in their life, and also triggered fixed signs into leaving a legacy as well, building something permanent in their life. And then you have all the fixed signs right here. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, same thing on the World card. So definitely a fixed sign energy here. With the Three of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. I think I said this to you in your last reading, or in the August monthly readings that I just did. I'm pretty sure that I said to you that things are going to move faster than you think once you get started. That's the time that we're in. This is why I preach this nonstop, that we need to get started right now, because if you do, things will move forward much faster than you think. If you just sit around and think about things, then you're going to be stuck. So you definitely don't want to be stuck. Like my intuitive feeling is that you do not want to be stuck by the time we get to like September. I'm not saying that you have to get started today, and it is Mercury retrograde, but what I would say is that if you're wanting to do something, or if you've been planning to do something, I would get started before the next eclipse, right? That's it. So I would get moving. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands, more adventure, right? And, and maybe that's what this is, right? Maybe saying I want the experience of my goal, maybe putting it in that perspective really is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands wants to have many experiences. He wants to go and explore the world and be adventurous. He doesn't want to be boxed into one thing, right? And so maybe that's what's going on here, is that you're being more go with the flow. And I think that would be a good idea. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Broken Open card and this Let It Go card. Yeah, I mean, both cards are kind of similar. The girl there, like, her chest is broken open. She's, like, maybe releasing her heart energy. And this Let It Go card is about releasing, kind of like opening your heart and letting something go. I do feel a lot of you could be, like, letting something go in your life. But it's, like, just, like I said, it's something that you've experienced already. It's almost like the dream car that you've manifested. But it's like after driving it for a certain period of time, it's like you're saying, like, okay, that was fun, but maybe there's something else I want, right? And so that's maybe where you're at, right? And I don't know, I'm not saying it's a car that you're releasing. To me, this could just be like your job, your career, something you've been doing for a long time, whatever. You have the Six of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Devil. This is showing up in the area, again, of what's coming in for you. The Six of Swords can be moving on to calmer shores, so I definitely feel there are, like, improvements coming in for you. I feel like a lot of you are moving on from devil stuff. I don't know, part of me feels that number one, Leo has dealt with a lot of devils over the past several years, mostly, involving other people. Like, I think you've had some difficult lessons. You've had to learn about who you can trust, who you can't trust, right? Plain and simple. So I think a lot of you you're finally, like, moving forward from that, which makes sense. For others, I literally feel you're just moving on to calmer shores. So I do feel you are creating improvements here. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can, of course, represent feeling left out in the cold. And I do feel some of you have felt left out in the cold in some ways. So the Five of Pentacles is probably involving people. But again, I feel that the Five of Pentacles is a card that says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. You need to focus on your strengths. And that's what I would do with the Five of Pentacles, is I would make sure that you are focusing on the good stuff, not the bad stuff. And if you do that, things will go well. And so that's what I would do with that card. You have the devil. The devil can represent toxic energy. Now, pretty much everyone has had the devil in the monthly July readings and also the August readings as well, both. And so I feel for a lot of people that we could just either we're clearing out toxic energy. I think there is plenty of toxic energy that will be exposed in the world between now and 2033. So I don't know, just is what it is. We're all going to go through it with that. So sure, I have nothing to add. But what I would say is that a lot of you could be completing toxic cycles because we have the Wheel of Fortune in the world. This is amazing. It's like you're finally ending toxic cycles that you've been going through. With the Six of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. Again, I think some of you are finding your tribe. Three of Pentacles is about realizing that the people that you allow into your life need to come in a support position. It's like he is working on his vision. These people are supporting the vision that he has. So, especially for those of you that have had difficulty like in work or business with hiring people or dealing with people, it's like saying that I think you've realized that you need to be the leader and, that not everyone is the same and, that they're not going to be on the same level as you and all that other stuff. So I definitely feel that for some of you. For others, she has these polka dots on her cloak, and polka dots in the tarot represent needing to not take things too seriously, needing to be more playful. I was definitely feeling that on that Knight of Wands and the Queen of Cups. It's like there's something about those two cards that are saying you're just more, instead of like saying like I need to have this thing in my life, I feel like you're being more playful about it, and obviously that would be good, or it just seems to be good in this reading. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles could be a new person, not really a love reading. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, like sure, there could be some sort of sacred union. I do feel for some of you there could be like a little bit of communication with a person here if you're looking for love. But like I also say, Mercury retrograde, I wouldn't necessarily rush into anything, although I still think we should date during retrogrades, but but at the same time, there's no need to rush, right? Page of Pentacles is great for communication, though. I also feel like some of you could be discovering new ways to improve your finances, by the way. I mean, we go Wheel of Fortune to the Nine of Pentacles here. Nine of Pentacles is like heaven on earth, and Nine of Pentacles is making money with your skills, which I'm pretty sure I said to you in your August reading. I am almost positive that there was something about this, because I remember saying something to you, Leo, about like you using a skill in a different way. I don't remember what I said exactly, but I do remember saying something like that to you in the August reading, so I would go watch that. The August monthly reading, I'm about to do the August bonus readings as well, but make sure it's just the regular monthly reading. Actually, it'll be pinned at the end of this video. And, I'm pretty sure I said something about that. But if you're doing something like that, like using your skills in a different way, very good. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, same thing. I didn't need to rant about that because here we go. So, again, the Devil is about letting go of something that's controlling you. And the Nine of Pentacles would be about so that you can create heaven on earth. This could literally say that, like, maybe a job is controlling you and you're using your skills in a different way to start a business that's, like, related to your job. Or maybe you're getting a different job or something like that. So, definitely could be, a lot of improvements with that Nine of Pentacles for sure, and involving your skills. So I like to see that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm getting there. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Crowd card. It says community, connection, and anonymity. I almost couldn't say that word. You have this Performance card. I was born with a fat tongue, Leo. There are just some words I can't say. You have this Performance card. It says expression, roles, and vulnerability. So a lot of you, like literally Performance and Crowd, you could be getting attention. You have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, he has done a good job. The whole point of the Three of Pentacles is that these people are appreciating the work that he has done. So, for those of you that have an audience, that want to grow an audience, now would be an amazing time for you to do that. I do think it's like a good thing right now is community. For those of you worried about like AI taking over, for example, I think that like building a community or having a community of people or people who follow you, not necessarily on social media either, like an actual literal community would be a very good idea. And, could be very helpful, especially in like work or business. But again, a lot of you could be getting attention from a group here. You have the Queen of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Swords. Queen of Swords is about seeing things clearly for the first time. So I do feel a lot of you could be getting a lot of clarity on like where you stand in the world, because she is looking over at the world. It's like you're getting clarity on your place in the world. And I feel this could be very helpful for you. I think it could lead to a lot of accomplishments as well. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's like a change in your fortunes. I kind of feel this year, not this year. I think like, until the end of 2026, I think that there could be a lot more like little accomplishments for you that are really going to add up. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be like, maybe there could be. I mean, you're all different, and I definitely wouldn't discourage you from going for something big. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that I think that there are just going between now, I don't know, it's popping into my head this way, between now and the end of 2026, I think there are going to just be like a lot more of these little kind of like milestone accomplishment things going on in your life. And, these are good things. I think that for a lot of you, you could be making a lot of progress in a very short period of time. I kind of like, part of me kind of feels like that's how life works. Just like after hearing enough people's stories and things like that about life, it's like sometimes it's like all of a sudden, it's like a person will struggle until they're like 32, and then like all of a sudden they have like when they turn 33 or something, they have a bunch of wins, right? It just, I don't know. And that's kind of what it feels like to me. It doesn't matter how old you are either, Leo. I really feel if you take advantage of the next, 18 months or so, that there could be a lot of wins, like little wins that kind of stack on top of each other coming in for you. And again, I'm not trying to say this is going to be easy or simple. You're going to obviously have to work for it, and you're going to have to do things differently than you've been doing them all along. But if you do that, it will definitely change your fortunes. You have the Eight of Swords. Again, this is your arch nemesis here, Leo. The Eight of Swords, only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. There's really not much to add, because I just think this card is saying you need to be open to all the ways of doing things in your life, because the more open you are with this energy, the better I feel. I think the more open you are to different ways of doing things, the better as well. So I would stay flexible with that Eight of Swords. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Pretty interesting. I think if you're worried about resources, by the way, that I wouldn't even worry. It's like maybe you're worried, like, oh, I can't start this thing because I don't have the money. But it's like once you make the move, I think the universe will move out of the way. It's like, I just wouldn't worry about it. Maybe you're thinking about building something like a business or, something else in your life. And I feel this is saying, like, just do what you can right now with what you got, right? Don't, worry about how things are going to come together and everything like that. And that's another tough lesson that I learned in my life. It's better to just, get started in a small way, because usually the universe moves out of the way, is what I feel. And so, don't prevent progress. And with the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ten of Swords. This definitely could be someone from the past. I would be careful, and I think this is someone you worked with or something. I would, or someone that an ex-employee. If you are a business owner, I would definitely. I think I said this to you in your August reading. I'm pretty sure. It's I don't know. I get a weird feeling about a past person returning or something like that. Some of you might just be dealing with a past person. Again, we're talking about in work or business here. But definitely, I would definitely be careful of love as well. If especially if there's a person that you don't want to hear from, Leo, I would be careful of that. But Ten of Swords is someone who stabbed you in the back. And so, again, if there's a work person that stabbed you in the back or something that's returning for some reason, I would avoid it. Eight of Swords, you have the High Priestess, literally the solution to the Eight of Swords. Why do I say that? Because she has this blindfold on, and blindfolds in the tarot represent needing to trust your intuition. So literally, the solution to the Eight of Swords is needing to listen to what your intuition is telling you. And I feel like I'm pretty sure I said that to you in your August reading. And, this week starts the beginning of August. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this crescent moon. It says, as the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness. Stay positive. You have this explosive situations card. It says that destruction will now allow new growth to emerge and shape a new future. You are shaping your new future. I would say that Leo is shaping their ultimate new future. And again, is this going to happen overnight? No, it's going to take work. It's going to take time. And you're going to have to, stack those successes, stack those wins. And you're going to have to do new things, push yourself outside comfort zones. But if you do those things, then you will build your ultimate new future. You have the World, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Sun. The World says you have the power to create your own reality, your own world. This lady here in the middle is a sorceress, and she has these two wands, and she's able to create her own reality however she wants. So I would be practicing that. I think a lot of you also are being encouraged to, again, enter into new spaces or new worlds. It's like you've experienced something, I can't get away from that feeling. here, Leo, where it's like you've had an experience of something and it's like now you're just ready for the next thing. I think a lot of people are realizing that. It's like, I think gone are the days where people are going to have a job for like 30, 40 years. It's like my grandpa, he worked at the same company from the time he was like 17 or something like that until he died, almost, basically. And, he worked his way from the bottom to the top. But you basically can't do that anymore anyway, right? It's like, it's not the same. So, it's like gone are the days where people are going to do that. I think people are going to, get what they can from something, learn, and, move on to the next thing and have their next experience. And, just is what it is. You have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel really good about money here. I'm not saying like this is going to magically happen, of course, Leo, but Nine of Pentacles, twice. Then you have the Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Definitely like an opportunity this week for you to increase your finances. I think you need to focus, right? She has this falcon right here. The falcon represents the fact that she is training her focus. Like she's training herself what to focus on to get what she wants, and therefore she gets it. So I would make sure that you focus on the right things. Also, your skills. She has these grapes behind her. Grapes in the tarot represent having a specific skill that's difficult for most people, but she can do well. And so a lot of you could be using your skills to increase your finances, and I think that would be good for you as well with this Nine of Pentacles. I think a lot of you are becoming more independent financially as well, which would also be great. You have the Sun card, which is you showing up here, Leo, in a very strong position, which is also great. So whenever you show up as yourself, it kind of puts you in the position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want. Now, one thing I will tell you, Leo, is that the Sun card is actually a combination of the Sun and the Moon. We have these like straight rays and these squiggly rays on the Sun. And so it represents a combination of the Sun and the Moon energy. It's like you need to combine your intuition with your focus, is kind of what that is saying to me. So there you go. Here you go. With the World, you have the Chariot. There's definitely something about movement or travel, something. So some of you could either be moving or traveling, or you could be thinking about moving or traveling. I think it would be great for you, Leo, whatever it is. So, that's great. The Chariot is also a quick victory, and the World is an achievement. So there definitely could be some really nice achievements coming in for you here, Leo, especially for those of you that are working on something. I would definitely encourage you to do more to like not fit in. He's leaving the city behind him, and he's charging forward in a new direction. He's doing something that most people inside that city wouldn't do. He's setting himself apart. He's kind of like taking the road less traveled. And, that's kind of what I'm hearing on this Chariot card, that, for you to have that superlative life that we were talking about a minute ago, you obviously you're going to have to take the road less traveled. So, I think like no comparing yourself to other people. Don't try to be like other people. Try to be you. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups. You always get the King of Cups with me. Some of you, this could be love. It could be a King of Cups type person. So, it could be someone with deep emotions. The King of Cups usually is very in control of their emotions. One thing I will say, though, is the King of Cups is everything we just said, because the King of Cups has this boat behind him. And the boat on the King of Cups represents a time where ancestors would like get on boats and they would go somewhere they didn't know where they were going. And so they were kind of like traveling into the unknown. And so, the King of Cups can absolutely represent traveling into the unknown. And a lot of you could be doing that with this card. With the Sun, you have the Emperor. I think you're bossing up here, Leo, for sure. I just think this is saying that you are the one that is in control of your life. I think that you are the one that is taking control of your life as well. And I think you're really kind of like seeing opportunities and making things happen. I feel pretty good about that. Next, you have this Independence card. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. Like I said, there's a little bit of love here, but definitely not a focus, right? So, it could be a very independent week for you. As a matter of fact, I would recommend it. I think it's a good week for you to, work on your own independence, work on doing things to become more independent as well. Like things like becoming a source of your own happiness, working on your resources, fulfilling yourself, doing nice things for yourself. All that would be just really good. You have this Organization card. Is it a good time to get organized? Yes, no, is what I would say. Yes, it's a good time to organize things that need to be organized, like a mess, like my office. You actually can't tell, but I have a mess going on right now, so definitely need to do some organizing. I plan on it this week, right? It's good for that. it's bad if you're trying to like make something perfect. Like if you're trying to do something new and you're trying to organize the direction and you're trying to say this needs to go this way, not going to happen, right? So it's like we need to be willing to take messy action, but we need to clean up. I hope that makes sense. And that's what's popping into my head here. You have this indecision card. Yes, it's like your angels are trying to get your attention over here, right? With the blindfold on the high priestess, it's like she's crying. She's not even looking at the guidance, So like whatever answers you're looking for, the universe is trying to guide you, but you have to be open to it with this card. You have this optimism card. Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons to be happy. I think there's going to be a lot of reasons to not be happy as well. You're going to get what you think about, son. So I think that, obviously choose happiness, choose optimism, choose the light. You have this detachment card. Yes, it's so weird. Everyone has had these cards of detachment all of a sudden. So it definitely seems to me like the universe is encouraging people to detach from outcome more. Like, I think the universe is saying like we need to be more detached from outcomes in our lives. And if we do that, I think things will go well, of course. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all I'm getting here. This looks pretty good though, Leo. I like this. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.